This is every US Air Force pilot's worst nightmare. No, it's not fighting in a war or shooting down other planes. It's something far more relentless and unforgiving. We're talking about the Arctic weather that turns life at Eon Air Base into a constant battle for survival. Not against an enemy, but against nature itself. Imagine a place so cold that even the bravest among us would think twice before stepping outside. While many Americans endure harsh winters, few truly understand what it's like to face the unrelenting freeze at Eon Air Force Base, located just 26 miles southeast of Fairbanks, Alaska. This base isn't just remote, it's the closest permanent US military installation to the Arctic Circle, placing it directly in the crosshairs of some of the most extreme weather conditions on the planet. Okay, we know what you're probably thinking. If the weather conditions are this terrible, especially for landing planes, why even place an Air Force Base there? Well, the thing is, that is the whole point of this airbase. The primary mission of Eon Air Force Base is to train and equip soldiers for close air support of ground troops in an Arctic environment. In layman's terms, the pilots of this airbase are trained to provide support to the military personnel on the ground, especially in freezing conditions. If you find this kind of content interesting, then be sure to like and subscribe for more insights into military operations and strategy. Moreover, Eon's strategic location makes it a critical hub for the US military. As the closest permanent base to the Arctic Circle, it plays a vital role in monitoring and responding to potential threats in the region. With the Arctic becoming a focus of geopolitical interest, the ability to maintain operations in this extreme environment isn't optimal, it's essential. Speaking of freezing conditions, want to guess the average temperatures at this airbase? From October through April, the average temperature at Eon hovers at or below freezing. Let that sink in. For nearly half the year, the thermometer barely makes it above 32 degrees Fahrenheit. During this time, the base is blanketed with an average of 78 inches of snow annually. To put that in perspective, that's less than half the height of an F-35 fighter jet, which stands about 14 feet tall. Sounds surreal, right? But the reality is far from amusing. For the men and women of the 354th Air Wing, this relentless snowfall isn't just an inconvenience, it's a mission-critical hazard. Snow and ice constantly threaten to compromise aircraft and flight operations, turning routine tasks into life and death challenges. But for that, we need to understand why snow is such a hazard for airplanes. Let's talk about science. Aerodynamics is the art of mastering airflow. When a fixed-wing aircraft takes to the skies, it relies on lift, a force generated by the movement of air over its wings. But snow and ice have a sinister way of disrupting this balance. They alter the wing's smooth surface, wreaking havoc on airflow and lift. The result? An aircraft that might struggle to stay in the air, or worse, one that could plummet from the sky. And no, we're not joking about that last part. During World War II, the US Army Air Corps painfully discovered how devastating ice and snow could be. An entire squadron of B-17 bombers and their P-38 fighter escorts was lost in Greenland's unforgiving conditions. The aircraft were grounded by relentless ice and snow, leaving them stranded and ultimately abandoned. This tragedy wasn't just a logistical failure. It was a harsh reminder of how nature can overpower even the most advanced technology. These losses still echo today, driving the Air Force's commitment to vigilance and innovation in harsh environments. So then, how does the Air Force keep the runaways at the Eon Air Force Base operational throughout the rough weather conditions? Well, if you're thinking about shovels and brooms, forget about it. At Eon, snowfall can bury these bases overnight, and it's far too dangerous and efficient to use basic equipment such as shovels for extreme conditions. Instead, Eon personnel rely on some of the most advanced snow clearing equipment ever designed. Enter the Oshkosh H-Series snowblower, a mechanical giant built to tackle the relentless Arctic snow. At 30 feet long, 10 feet tall, and weighing an impressive 30 tons, it's an unstoppable force on the flight line. Its hydraulically driven ribbon auger is capable of clearing up to 5,000 tons of snow per hour, effortlessly managing vast stretches of runway up to 200 feet wide in record time. Powered by a 6-cylinder Cummins diesel engine, this beast generates 350 horsepower and an incredible 1,350 pound-feet of torque. This power allows for it to chew through compacted snowbanks and hardened ice with ease, ensuring the runway is safe for critical flight operations. The Oshkosh H-Series isn't just a snowblower, it's a symbol of resilience designed to keep missions on track despite the unforgiving conditions. But clearing the runway is only half the battle. The real challenge is ensuring every aircraft is completely free of ice and snow. Even a thin layer of ice can disrupt airflow over the wings, reducing lift and increasing drag, potentially leading to dangerous flight conditions. That's where the Global Extended Reach G2875 dicer comes in. This machine can extend up to 43 feet, easily reaching large aircraft like the KC-135 or C-130. Its powerful nozzle sprays a glycol mixture that lowers the freezing point of water to negative 55 degrees, ensuring no ice can form. With onboard tanks holding up to 2,800 gallons of fluid and a high-pressure spray system, it clears ice efficiently while protecting delicate surfaces. Operated with precision, this equipment ensures the aircraft is ready to soar, even in the harshest Arctic conditions. But even after all the snow on the runway and the ice on the airplanes have been cleared, it still takes a special amount of skill to fly through thick clouds with foggy windows and the turbulence throwing you around. This isn't any of the regular Air Force bases. Flying here requires precision and months of specialized training. So to maintain their edge, airmen use virtual reality training programs to sharpen their skills year-round, preparing for the relentless winter ahead. Even after all this effort, the runway isn't automatically safe. To ensure every landing is smooth, airmen use a device called a skidometer. This tool measures runway friction using a test wheel that mimics an aircraft's landing gear. If the friction is too low, incoming planes could lose control, leading to disaster. But sometimes, even the best technology isn't enough. During one particularly brutal storm, the base was encased in a 2-inch thick sheet of ice. Commanders estimated that it would take 2 weeks to clear. However, an innovative airman crafted a new front attachment for the H-series blower, transforming it into a giant ice scraper. Thanks to this ingenuity, the job was completed in just 2 days. While the flight line may get the glory, the true unsung heroes are the maintenance crew. These men and women work tirelessly to keep the equipment running despite exposure to corrosive chemicals, salt, and of course extreme cold. Without their dedication, the snowblowers and dicers would grind to a halt, jeopardizing the base mission's readiness. But what happens when conditions are so bad that even traditional aircraft can't operate? The Air Force has a backup plan for that too. Here's where defense giant Lockheed Martin comes into play. Meet the LC-130, a specially modified cargo plane equipped with retractable skis. Yes, you heard that right. Lockheed Martin really did add skis to a 38-foot tall airplane. These skis distribute the aircraft's weight, allowing it to take off and land on snow and ice instead of using traditional landing gear. And when the snow is especially deep, the LC-130 relies on jet-assisted takeoff rockets, which provide an extra 1,000 pounds of thrust per rocket for those critical 12 seconds during takeoff. These 10 LC-130 aircraft are based in northern New York, but stand ready to assist Eielson when needed, ensuring supplies and personnel can be delivered or evacuated no matter how brutal the weather becomes. But even with all the equipment and expertise at their disposal, the challenges at Eielson Air Force Base aren't just technical, they're psychological. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that your day involves battling not an enemy, but the unforgiving Arctic cold. This isn't a short-term deployment. It's life for months on end. The freezing temperatures, unrelenting snowfall, and long dark winters test the resilience of everyone stationed here. And let's not also forget, from mid-November to late January, Eielson experiences only a few hours of daylight each day. Working in near constant darkness adds another layer of difficulty to an already demanding task. Yet the airmen persevere. Why? Because they know that stakes are higher than personal comfort. Keeping the base operational isn't just a matter of routine, it's a matter of national security. What about the future of Arctic operations? As global interest in the region grows, Eielson will likely become even more important. The skills and strategies developed here will shape how the US military operate in the Arctic for years to come, whether it's defending national interests, conducting humanitarian missions, or simply maintaining a presence in this remote part of the world. Eielson's airmen will be at the forefront. So the next time you're bundled up on a chilly winter morning, spare a thought for the men and women at Eielson Air Force Base. Like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on the relentless battle against the Arctic elements. And if you're eager for more revolutionary tech, don't miss our deep dive into revolutionary drone that's going to change the future of cargo delivery. It's a journey you won't want to miss.